Coming up on today's show, we have Epcot gets a new entrance. The gondola testing is running at full swing. And the Rockin' roller coaster gets a new queue. Plus, we have this week's crowd levels, refurbishments, and the park's planning forecast. All that on today's show.
Howdy, folks. Please keep your hands and arms inside the train and remain seated at all times.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
This is the Go Ask Mickey podcast.
To infinity and beyond!
Helping you with the tips, tricks, and the tools needed to save you time and money on your next Disney vacation.
Where is my super suit?
If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, send them to goaskmickey@gmail.com.
It's February 26, 2019, and this is the Go Ask Mickey podcast. My name's Jerry from goaskmickey.com, and joining me as always in the famous studio, 38 Studios, is the world famous Fast Eddie. Welcome everybody to another episode. We have a ton of information that seemed to have exploded in just the past few days, and we're going to get hopefully to a lot of it before the end of this week's show. Epcot seemed to have been the focus this past weekend on the new entrance and all the information that has come out to talk about that, and we're going to get to that a little bit later on. First up, I want to get to the updates and what's going on this week around the parks. All right, a few things have changed on this week's Parks Planning Forecast, and I want to start off with the park hours first. That Magic Kingdom, due to spring break coming, has changed a few hours on their schedule, and they have, decided to close a little later on certain dates because of this, and it's generally around March, maybe beginning of April, that this has affected. So if you're planning on going within that time frame, you might want to check the park hours because they have changed. Okay, not much going on at the resorts. The resorts have some refurbs. The All-Star Music and Movies, no, not the movies, the All-Star Sports and Music have some refurbs ending very, very soon. They should be pretty much done with those. As far as ride refurbishments, let's hit the parks, and we have some Animal Kingdom closures for, Cali River Rapids. That is closed from January 7th to March 22nd, and Rafiki's Planet Watch is seasonably closed. We don't know when that one will open. Magic Kingdom, the Walt Disney Railroad, has been closed since past December. We don't have a date on that one, as well as the Casey's Splash and Soak Station has been closed down as well, and the Tomorrowland Speedway has been closed since January 2nd, I believe, and that will go till May 18th. Over at Hollywood Studios, Beauty and the Beast show has also been closed as well. That is the parks ride refurbishments. Now, the crowd numbers for this upcoming week are scattered. They range from anywhere from 4 to 7. And the weather, as far as the weather goes, has been unseasonably warm. Not like the rest of the country, but for some reason, Florida and I believe California. So if you're hitting any of the Disney or Disneyland spots, it's going to be unseasonably warm right around this time. We're talking like 80s to 90s with some possible humidity. So, dress accordingly if you plan on going anytime soon. That pretty much sums up the crowd levels as well as the parks planning forecast for this week. You have any questions, comments, suggestions, or anything, send them on over to goaskmickey@gmail.com.
You're listening to the Go Ask Mickey podcast.
Oh my God!
All right, before we get to the information about the Epcot's new entrance, I want to talk to you a little bit about the news that is coming out of Hollywood Studios. Now, the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror refurbishment is going to be starting soon, and it is one of the most beloved rides in pretty much all of Walt Disney World. And it has been thrilling guests since the mid-90s. However, this attraction has continued to wow guests for the last 25 years, and like any other ride, it needs a little TLC from time to time. And it looks like Disney is finally ready to give this attraction the attention that it really, really deserves. It hasn't had a major refurbishment since, I believe it was 2010. And in the very near future, as a massive refurbishment is planned for this year that will kick off in just a few days. Now, the refurbishment will be carried out in phases while the attraction will remain open, so expect longer waits and limited FastPass ability. Now, also in Hollywood Studios is the Early Morning Magic is now going to be available for booking all the way through August. Hollywood Studios' version of the Early Morning Magic upcharge will offer pre-opening access to Toy Story Land as well as a breakfast buffet. Now, this has been extended and is now available for guests to book dates from now and through the end of August. Now, addition, Disney has modified this event as well, as the breakfast location has been moved to the Backlot Express quick service restaurant. The main event menu consists of a continental breakfast buffet, and a choice of a main dish remaining the same continues to be available for the beginning of the event until 10 a.m. So that will be happening as well over at Hollywood Studios. Also in Hollywood Studios is the Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy is to begin opening on March 31st. Now, it has been confirmed earlier this year that the new Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy show will officially debut in the Sunset Showcase Theater, which is located adjacent to the Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith. And on March 31st, this new attraction will immerse guests in the world of cars and bring them face to face with the racing legend Lightning McQueen. Now, taking on a role of a rookie racer, guests will cruise into the theater and find yourself face to face with this character, who will appear, quote unquote, live on stage in animatronic form, while giant wraparound screens that are nearly 2 stories tall stretch more than 200 feet from end to end pull the guests into this attraction. The show will take place after the events of Cars 3 and will feature McQueen going through some of his character highlights while testing out a new character simulator before and eventually things go wrong, and as they always do in the theme park attractions, pathways that lead to this building are now opening back up, and they are behind berms for a while. And the soft opening later this month could be possible if this attraction ends up being ready ahead of schedule. we're going to have to keep an eye on this one because it will be interesting to see what this one will have. Also, as I mentioned in the beginning, the new FastPass queue entrance now back over at the Rockin' roller coaster. Now, Disney has redeveloped parts of Sunset Boulevard at Disney's Hollywood Studios over the past few months. And as we inch closer to the opening of the Cars attraction, and in an effort to keep traffic flowing freely once this attraction is open, the Rockin' roller coaster FastPass queue entrance on the far side of this attraction has been moved towards the center of the ride and the entrance area where the old paper FastPass distribution machines they used to be. For the old school people, you don't know where that is. It's more towards the center. So that is going on with the Rockin' roller coaster and everything over at Hollywood Studios. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the Epcot entrance has a new design and a preview center, as well as a play pavilion was also announced this past weekend for Epcot. There have been a lot of changes confirmed to the changing of Epcot probably over the next 5 years, including the most ambitious ride ever constructed at Walt Disney World, which is basically the Guardians of the Galaxy new roller coaster. Changes coming to this park before the 50th anniversary in 2021, including a redesigned entrance and a brand new Future World pavilion, and lots more. Now, the former Wonders of Life pavilion is set to be transformed into the Play Pavilion. Now, after more than a decade of being used as a festival center, it looks like the Wonders of Life pavilion is finally being turned into an attraction space once again. And it is redesigned and rebranded as the future's new Play Pavilion. Now, we're not quite sure if this is the official name or not, but this updated space will be designed to look like an innovative indoor city that'll come to life with interactive experiences, including ones that will include Disney characters. Though no specific IPs or attractions have been confirmed for this new pavilion, the concept art features Mickey Mouse as well as characters from Inside Out, Zootopia, Aristocats, Sleeping Beauty, and Peter Pan and Frozen, which are certainly exciting for Disney character fans. There are no specific opening date which was given for this area yet, and Disney did confirm that this pavilion will open just in time for the 50th anniversary. So you're looking at 2021 before you get that entrance. Now, the entrance is being redesigned with new walkways, while they leave a legacy slabs are going to be removed. Those strange looking tombstones will be taken out. Epcot's main entrance plaza is also being redesigned in time for the 50th anniversary of the Walt Disney World, with the expanded new walkways, new garden areas, and newly reimagined fountains, and a design that will pay homage to the original park entrance with fresh takes on the classic elements, all of which you could see in the art above, and I will put that on my Facebook page. Because of the expansion of the walking areas, the Leave a Legacy photo display will be moving to an unspecified area outside of the park's gateway, where the pictures will be displayed without the giant granite slabs that currently house the photos, which is definitely good news and will help free up more space for guests to walk around as they enter this park. So it will basically expand that entrance so it's less crowded and more flowing, I guess. The Odyssey, which will premiere a preview experience center for Epcot's reinvention. There are a lot of changes coming to Epcot in the next 5 years or so. And to help guests keep track of everything happening, there will be a semi-permanent experience center opening in the former Odyssey restaurant later this year that will help showcase the upcoming changes to Epcot. Now, this reimagined preview space will feature engaging and interactive exhibits that showcase the relentless innovations, energy, and the excitement driving the future of Epcot, and it will open for the next few years while all these projects are in development, including, let's see, the Guardians of the Galaxy coaster. We got Ratatouille. We have the Play Pavilion, the Beauty and the Beast show in France, a celebration of the nighttime spectacular, the unnamed space restaurant that is going to be opening in Future World, and there is a new restaurant to be open in Japan as well, and the new film in Canada. Interestingly, one big change that has been announced yet, but we will still hear very much, I heard it's in the works, is the overhaul of the central hub of Epcot's Future World, which was teased at probably last year's D23 event, and could see the removal of several buildings, including the Interventions, Club Cool, Mouse Gears, and more. Now, however, Disney has said they will be making even more announcements about the future of Epcot soon, so we'll be willing and waiting to hear about this project in the near future. Okay, and lastly, we are talking about the gondolas have been seen testing at full speed. Now, a few weeks ago, we talked about the gondolas on their voyages across the sky en route. They've tested a few single cabins, and the Skyliner has been testing ever since then, sending actual passenger gondolas, not the test bucket gondolas, across the lines installed throughout the resorts. Now, things have been progressing really quickly for this secondary highway in the sky, especially as we near the fall 2019 opening of the Skyliner. Today, we saw some new videos and photos of some gondolas moving at the full speed across the parking lots at Hollywood Studios. The gondolas are still covered with the tarps to protect their exterior designs during the testing, so they do not want you to see what the pictures are on these gondolas. But if you look closely at some of them, and you got to really look, you can see the designs outlined throughout the tarps. Now, it's looking really good. It's coming across really quickly, and they definitely have been advancing this Skyliner very quickly. So I believe that they will be opening sooner than later of fall of 2019. So I believe by the summertime, at least, they'll be running these in the parks. At least one part of the parks. That is it for the news for this week's show. Thank you for downloading, tuning in, and listening. If you could, head over to our Facebook page, our Twitter page, as well as the Instagram. Give us a like and follow us on any one of those. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, send them over to goaskmickey@gmail.com. And if you could, head over to iTunes and give a rate and review as well over there. All right, that is it. Until next week, I'm Jerry. This is the Go Ask Mickey podcast, and those are the words.
Head on over to goaskmickey.com or check us out on Facebook or leave us a review on iTunes.